Ole, ole. Ole, 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 ole. I bet you hate hearing that, huh? Tonight was one of those nights, if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, ooh, you could step right on the bees tonight. And that's what happened. Right on the logo tonight. Oof. 10 in a row. The Bruins have lost 10 games in a row. I know they waved the white flag. We know that already. But they gave up 4 goals again, which I'll tell you, they've only won 1 game this year when they give up 4 goals or more. But when you think of losing streaks, right? The Bruins had 8 games or longer in their history. In 55, 56, they lost 8. Right now, they've lost 10. It's they've lost 10 in a row, which ties the 09-2010 team. They have lost 11 straight back in 1924-25. And a lot of these streaks ended when they took on Montreal. Did not happen tonight, though. But tonight, the Montreal Canadiens took care of the Boston Bruins. Jeremy Swayman struggled again tonight. The longest losing streak since 2010. It's been a great 15 years, everybody, but they say retool. This really does look like a rebuild. So you can certainly react to the Bruins if you'd like at 617-779-0985. Our friends, our regulars are already ready to go on YouTube tonight. 7 more games to go. 7 more. How many more are during the week? I should look that up. Bruins schedule. Because it's getting tough to watch. But I will say this. Did you hear the crowd in Montreal tonight? They were into this thing. They were into it. So it's Saturday and Sunday back-to-backs. So Saturday, Sunday, we don't have to worry about those games here at night, only on the weekends. And then it's Tuesday, Thursday, and then I'll be here for the final game of the year on the 15th against New Jersey. Oof. 6 more games after tonight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Who's counting anyways, though? 6 more games. All right. We'll tell you the score of the Bruins game. We'll get you the Red Sox score. What happened to Joe Milton today? We got 2 hours. One of the only places to do it right here live. Till midnight. Skaz is here. Josh, our intern's here. I got something for him later. Jeremy's here, too. He's only got 6 more left, baby. We'll tell you the Bruins score coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tiger Studios, this is Boston's home for sports.
He scored! What a blast by Boston! Waiting, Holiday screams, good night!
WPCFM and HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Bruins lose 4-1 tonight in Montreal. They've lost 10 games in a row. It's their longest losing streak since 09-2010. That was 15 years ago, everybody. Elias Lindholm with the only goal. They got a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday this week. Red Sox win today 8-4. They get homers from, well, Alex Bregman, of course. Tristan Casas went deep, and Christian Campbell just doing his typical thing where going yard as well, hits, you name it. Opening day against St. Louis. What? That's who they're playing. Walker Buehler will get the start. Patriots trade Joe Milton in the 7th round pick today to the Cowboys for a 5th rounder, pick number 171. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5, the Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Pasternak back down deep. Kicked away into the corner by Zaka. Middlestat can't catch up with it. Puck cleared out to neutral ice. Evans trying for the empty net. Gives it across to Suzuki, who shoots and scores from the right circle. And Montreal with 1:57 to go makes it 4-1.
The long shows, but hey, we get 2 hours. I'll take it. I'll take whatever they give us at this point. I mentioned Bruins lose 4-1 tonight. Have now lost 10 games in a row. It hasn't happened in 15 years. It's getting worse. 6 games left, though. Drive for 5, still alive. The lowest pick that they can get is a 7th overall pick. So as they continue to lose here, they're closer to the number 1 pick than they are the playoffs. Been consistent on that for a long time. Also, the Red Sox won today. We'll recap that one. Pretty good performance overall from the team, and the bat started to get going as well. What kind of bat was it? Was it a torpedo bat? Was it a regular bat? We'll find out throughout the show tonight. Should I be concerned about Jaylen Brown's knee? Should I be concerned? We'll get into that throughout the night tonight. And the Patriots today traded away Joe Milton to the Dallas Cowboys. They threw in a 7th-round pick. They get a 5th-round pick, number 171 in the draft. So those are generally the topics that we will discuss. Off the air, we were doing the would you rather this or that, or who had a worse this or that. And that was kind of interesting, Skaz. You know? I'm not going to lead off the show with that tonight, of course. But, you know, who is dealt a worst hand? Joe Sacco or Gerard Mayo? It could definitely be debated.
I would go out on a limb, Joe, and say they both won't last longer than a year, if I had to guess.
All right, well, we'll leave it off there. 617-779-0985. All right, the Joe Milton stuff. Joe Milton traded today. I can understand why a lot of people have feelings on this or their opinions, so I won't dismiss anybody's. Overall, I don't care. I didn't see much in Joe Milton when I went and saw him at camp. Was I impressed in what I saw the final game of the year? Yes. Was I pissed that they won the game and gave up the number 1 overall pick? Yes. Did the Bills throw the game because they didn't want the Patriots to get up? Yes. All that. All of it's true. I also won't forget that Gerard Mayo was fired within 45 minutes after they won the game. I'm not a Joe Milton guy. He played a lot of college football. He got a chance to play. He played well. I tip my cap to him. He became an off-season commodity, or at least one team was interested. They brought in Josh Dobbs. We all know him. He's been around for a bit. Veteran, played with Mike Vrabel in the past. So they're going with somebody they know. Maybe they go out and draft another kid or bring in an undrafted free agent or a veteran. Who knows? It doesn't make sense. For the people that look at Joe Milton and say, why would you move on from him right now? You're right. Only a 5th-round pick. I'll push back on that one because I can give you some other trades that have happened with backup quarterbacks that are pretty consistent. But there's been some odd reporting on the Joe Milton stuff. Sounds like they were doing him a solid. He wanted to play. The other thing is he likes the Cowboys. Why only a 5th-round pick? Other teams were interested. Only one team made an offer? The Patriots have bigger fish to fry this year than Joe Milton. And I think it's a talking point now because quarterbacks in the league are a premium, right? When the Patriots traded away Jimmy Garoppolo, they didn't get what they probably should have. You could probably say the same thing about Joe Milton, although I'll tell you that it's very consistent to other guys that have been traded. But why now? Why in a guy's second year? Something doesn't smell right. I'm probably not going to make a big deal about it because in the end, I think they didn't believe in Joe Milton. I'm wondering if the rest of the league might have interest, but still question some of his ability. But this is a Patriots conversation. This is about why the Patriots moved on from Joe Milton right now. And to be honest with you, I don't think that this was an upgrade for the team. Now, could Joe Milton have gone to camp, looked bad, potentially been on the bubble to get cut? Probably. Could he have beat Josh Dobbs to a point where he Drake May's looking over his shoulder and like, wow, that's good for your quarterback, right? Isn't it good to have competition? To me, the deal makes no sense. So that's why I'm sniffing around, Skaz, because, did they have to make this move today? No. Did it affect their salary cap? No. Did they really, truly get an asset in a 5th-round pick? You could debate it. I don't think so. So wait till you start getting reports about why. And by the way, I want to just throw this out there because I'm still sniffing around. Wasn't it Mike Vrabel when he, at his introductory press conference, wasn't it him who mentioned that there were some guys in the locker room that were entitled? Joe Milton wanted to start. I guess the reporting is that he thinks he can start in the league. Is that one of the reasons why he's gone? So I have a thought of why he's gone. But Skaz, I know we talked about this a little bit off the air. I don't care about Joe Milton. Like, there's bigger fish to fry. But this deal makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Joe. And, I'm of the belief that, Joe Milton is what Joe Milton is. I think he was highly overrated, by some people in this town. If you watched him play in college, you're pretty aware of what Joe Milton is. For me, I think the confusion, the speculation, whatever you want to call it, comes from the reporting around it. I have no issues with the Patriots trading Joe Milton. I have an issue with what we're being told, which there seems to be a lot of inconsistency coming out of, reports around the Patriots. Not interested in star wide receivers because of Drake May. They signed Stephon Diggs. And then today you get, they wanted to do Joe Milton a favor. A lot of teams were interested in. Then we get the Albert Breer report that it was just the Cowboys that made a real offer for Joe Milton. And then we get the reports from, Mike Reese and others that there was a QB dynamic in the locker room that they were trying to avoid. And that, to me, that says, Joe Milton was, creating some friction, whatever it is inside that locker room. A rookie that's creating friction inside your locker room with what you believe to be the franchise QB. Is that a guy you're going to go out of your way to do a favor to?
Nope.
So I think there's a lot of just question marks around this, and it's a backup quarterback. You pray and you hope that it doesn't affect the Patriots this year in any way, that Drake May is out there. That's your hope. But why tell us the Patriots are doing him a favor? A bunch of teams were interested in. Nope, actually, he was a problem in the locker room, and the Cowboys were the only team that made a real offer. So we have been criticizing the Patriots for years, what feels like, for not having their ducks in a row, for mixed messaging, for not communicating well or having a clear direction. This screams all of those things. Drake May is an unproven commodity. However you feel about him, even if you feel he is the next franchise QB, he won one game last year. You have no idea really what Drake May is going to be. You don't think it would be nice to have another young, talented quarterback in that room pushing him forward? Instead, you are worried already about Drake May's mental confidence, or whatever you want to call it, that Josh Dobbs is the only competition you'll allow him to have in the room. I just think that it's a lot of mixed messaging coming out of Gillette, and I don't really understand the need or the thought process behind it.
So I'm not upset that they traded Joe Milton. Maybe I've made that clear already. But from a business sense, and to Skaz's point, why'd you have to do this now? And if the reporting is true that they wanted Drake May to start next week at workouts with just Josh Dobbs, like Joe Milton still has a place there. Like he can chase Dobbs, he can chase Drake. Drake can. It's a friendly, healthy competition, right? Like it's healthy. It has nothing to do with money. The other thing you could do is, I don't know, you play Joe Milton in the preseason and he looks good. Maybe his value goes up. Maybe a team's injury happens. For some reason, the Patriots didn't want Joe Milton at camp next week. They didn't want him there. There's no reason. Whatever the reports say, I'm not believing. I'm not. There's a reason why Joe Milton isn't here, and I don't think it has anything to do with Drake May.
Would you like to hear Mike Vrabel's comments on Joe Milton from March 31st?
Yes.
Mike, Joe Milton, just curious your thoughts on him and if there's any sense from conversations with other teams that you might have an asset there that could have value to, in any potential discussions with other teams.
Yeah, I think Joe's did everything that they asked him to do last year. It sounds like in conversations that he worked extremely hard. And that's tough when you're a quarterback. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to be the starter. And that's great to have that attitude. And he was ready for his opportunity there late in the season, which I commend him on, just like I would any player that sat there and went through a long season, a difficult season, and then got the opportunity, went out, won a football game, played well, helped his team win. And then, where that leads to, we'll see as the draft approaches, or where Joe is on April 7th to start our offseason program. But, you have to give Joe credit for being ready to go, going from the third quarterback to being able to win that football game and stay ready and stay hungry.
That sounded like a sell job in hindsight. He did a lot of good things and had a really tough year. And you know what? We have some guys who do think certain things about themselves. So maybe now this self-entitled, guys who are entitled, was Joe Milton one of them? This is what it raises now. It wasn't about Drake. It wasn't about Drake May.
Joe, I'll tell you what it is. They're pissed they lost the first overall pick.
Thank you.
They're upset.
This is the Godfather at work, everybody. I want to credit Mike Vrabel for having a good offseason. I'm not going to credit him moving on from Joe Milton when they didn't have to. Joe Milton got whacked today. Again, Mike Vrabel. Michael Corleone Vrabel. Whacked. He was part of the Mayo draft. It's the reason they're drafting 4th overall. Joe Milton would be here today if they lost and had the number 1 pick. You know what? I would bet on that, Skess. If they lost the game, Joe Milton, oh, baby, we're going to guarantee your contract this year, buddy. And we've had Doug Kide who did the reporting. So this isn't me just opinion Joe right now. It was reported the coaching staff knew they were going to get fired. So what did they do? They went out and won a game. Now, did Buffalo lay down? Absolutely. But I will tell you this. If it was Coach Joe would have played Jacoby Brissett. Coach Joe would have handed the ball off every play. Coach Joe would take kneel downs at times just to turn the ball over. Coach Joe would have found a way to lose that game. Instead, Bazooka Joe went into business for himself. Gerard Mayo and crew went into business for themselves. This deal makes no sense for the Patriots, and the only thing I can see is the organization Moving on from yet another capo, another guy from the previous regime. There's a new godfather in town. Most of the moves, I'll give him credit for. This one, you're not better. And don't give me Drake. Oh, they did it for Drake May. They did it because they want Joe Milton gone because he was a part of what happened at the end of last season. Hashtag Coach Joe. Go to break. This Joe Milton deal makes no sense. And listen, I don't care. I'm going to say it again. I don't care that Joe Milton got traded. I don't care. It just makes no sense. You can't tell me that this was a football move. Bazooka Joe. Anyways, by the way, I'm going to sniff around a little bit more. What does this deal mean for the Cowboys? We'll get into that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. Skaz is here. We got Josh as well. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up.
Average Babe, always in there. Something happened this morning on the morning show on YouTube. I don't know what happened. I heard yelling. I heard sadness.
Heard there were some dogs involved.
There were? Oh, actually, I didn't hear that. Okay, now we're adding more to this.
Yes.
So, Skaz, you know what it is, Skaz? I previously worked on the morning show. So people love to tell me about the show now because now that we work until midnight, dude, like 9:30 is like...
I'm not catching much of the morning show, unfortunately. I listen to the podcast, so I'll go back and check in. See what Beaton's up to, you know?
I'll check in the chat every once in a while just to see who's in there. But there was some yelling today, from what I gather.
I think old friend Adolfo was back in the mix. I believe Sarah from Everett was here. A lot of chaos, according to the YouTube chat.
Huh. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe tomorrow I'll wake up early and I'll find out what it was. Or you can just tell me. 617-779-0985. All right, the Joe Milton stuff makes no sense. I'm going to say it one more time. If you're a fan, I can see why you're upset. Because Joe Milton did show something. Joe Milton might be a flyer as a 6th-round pick. Joe Milton showed that he can make plays in the NFL. He did those things. I won't take that away from Joe Milton. He also won a game that really was franchise-altering, though. He was. And I think that right now, the Crafts and Mike Vrabel are just essentially clean slate and... what's the word? New culture in town, new atmosphere. Because last year was about the vibe, right?
They're changing the vibes.
Yeah. So I just think Joe Milton's a part of that crew. Joe Milton's part of that Mayo crew.
I got a question, Joe.
Okay.
Is Joe Milton going to start over Dak Prescott?
Nope.
Huh. But I thought the Patriots were doing him a favor, sending him to Dallas because he has a better chance to start there.
Well, now how I was telling you I was sniffing around a little bit?
You're a sniffer.
Okay. I've done a little bit of digging on this Dak Prescott thing in Dallas. I don't know how they can trade him, Skez. I really don't. Like, there's some real cap penalty. You know how the cap's crap?
Yeah, he's making $45 and $50 million over the next couple of years.
He'd have like $100 million worth of cap issues for the Cowboys.
Just bench that guy for Joe Milton. It's a good way to run a team.
But it's almost better for them to keep him on this. You know what, though? So listen, I think Dak can play. Like he's a great player. Put up for 5,000 yards a couple of years ago. The issue with the Cowboys is I don't think they surround him enough.
They also don't play defense.
They don't.
Tough division.
Yep. And I don't see them really competing for that.
No, the Eagles in Washington are much better than them.
The Dak contract's an albatross because if first off he has a no trade clause. Second of all, he'll have a dead cap. But the Joe Milton stuff though, I think he'd be exciting there. And by the way, Cooper Rush was really good as a backup. Like, you want to talk backups in the league? He was good. But this guy in Cleveland that's close with the Cowboys, he doubled down today on the Dak Prescott trade to Cleveland. I'm just trying to make financial sense of it all. I don't think the Cowboys can do this deal. Could the Cowboys trade Dak Prescott to Cleveland? Yes. They're going to have to pay $100 million of dead money. How does that make sense? Unless Cleveland's going to take the money on or some money on. But this guy, is it Bruce Drennan? He's not backing down from the rumor that the Cowboys could trade Dak Prescott. His quote today, I stand by my statement that I laid on you last week. And now the Joe Milton trade has happened?
He is saying that Dak Prescott to the Browns for the 33rd pick and Greg Newsome. What happens with Watson there?
Oh, Watson's done for the year.
He's gone.
Watson's the Haslam this week already put the kiss of death on that one. So that money's just that one's done.
It's a lot of money, Joe.
That's done. But now it's Dak Prescott coming in. That's a lot of money. To me, I would just go Mitch Trubisky if I were them. Honestly, not Mitch Trubisky. Kenny Pickett. Man, I get them all confused now. They're all these washed up backups. That's what Joe Milton eventually will be. That's why I don't care. But to make sense of it for the Patriots, it makes none. And this is my take. I already mentioned. Skaz kind of said they traded him for a reason, and they did. Just admit it. They could have just said, hey, you know what? We want to give Joe Milton another chance. He'll have an opportunity in Dallas. We like what we have in our quarterback room. Leave it at that. Don't float out well, we don't want Drake looking over his shoulder because that doesn't look good for Drake May. By the way, Drake May had to compete with Jacoby Brissett last year. And again, when I was there, remember, we should make those I was there t-shirts. 2 years ago, I was there. 2 years ago, I told you Bailey Zappi was better than Mac Jones. Every writer in town, anybody that you listened to said, Joe's making a fool out of himself. The day Bill O'Brien came into the mix, it was suspect. It was suspect. And I'm validated on that, by the way. Validated. Mac Jones wasn't any good, and Bailey Zappi was almost just as good as Mac Jones. Fact. So, when Bill O'Brien came in, they didn't want to give Zappi the ball. They didn't want Zappi taking snaps. They wanted Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones. So if you want to sell that Bailey Zappi had to get out of the room because of Mac Jones, I'll buy it. And we know the reporting now is that Zappi used to go work in the wide receivers room. Like, it's confirmed. That happened. Fact. Validated. All the people who said I was an idiot. Okay, fine. This one, I'm not buying your crap now. You don't want to buy my crap? I'm not buying yours. They got rid of Joe Milton today, and it wasn't a good move for the team. Joe Milton being an unknown is good. It's valuable. You traded him for nothing. You didn't upgrade. Again, I don't care. But don't tell me it's because of Drake May. Skaz, what is this deal? What is the trade today of Joe Milton to the Dallas Cowboys? This deal is suspect. It's suspect again. Suspect. Clean house. Free agency. Mike Vrabel's in charge. This deal? Nope. I'll credit Mike Vrabel for what he's done this offseason, and I give him a lot of credit. It's been good. This deal here, this wasn't a Vrabel move. But I'm going to blame Vrabel. You just gave up on a kid who won one game. Do you know what Matt Flynn did winning one game for Green Bay years ago? Did you ever remember that one?
Oh, yeah, traded to Seattle.
Got some big money, right?
And he had a dead arm. He never really played. Russell Wilson took his job.
One game. Who took Skaz?
Joe, who won more games last year, Joe Milton or Drake May?
They had the same amount of wins.
Just saying. Just saying. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is this was not a football move. This was personal.
So is Drake May like a giant baby? He can't handle having Joe Milton in the room?
I think that reporting today, that's why I'm not believing it. I don't. I think Drake May is a competitor.
So do I.
I think Drake May is a competitor.
That's what I was led to believe all of last year.
Yeah. That I hate that report. And I love Mike Reese. Maybe this is what we just talked about this. Tom Curran had a report that they don't want to bring a veteran wide receiver in for Drake May, right? What is going on with everybody protecting Drake May? This guy doesn't need to be protected.
Joe, we talked about Bill Parcells, right? We said the timing of that was a little interesting, right? What was your main takeaway from the Bill Parcells thing?
It was personal because of Kraft's lack of attention or appeal for the Hall of Fame.
Who's a big voice around the NFL? Maybe the biggest in terms of NFL owners in the Hall of Fame. Might have some swing.
Roger Goodell. Who's
How about Jerry Jones? Maybe you're helping Jerry Jones out a little bit. You know, if you're just trying to get in everybody's good graces. Bill Parcells into the Hall of Fame. Let's rub Jerry's back a little bit. Give him a quarterback for a 5th-round pick.
Ooh, that's hot.
I'm just saying, Joe.
No, that one's hot.
I'm just saying.
I haven't heard that one yet. Ooh, you just pulled the levers, guess.
That's what I'm here for, Joe.
Could Kraft have this deal makes no sense. Deal makes no sense, right? The Patriots aren't a better football team today. They're not. He traded him to Jerry Jones.
Just saying.
This thing is suspect. This deal is so suspect. Oh,
I thought you'd like that one, Joe.
I love it. All right, well, Matt in Woburn wants to get on the line. Hey, Matt, you're right at the pot about for me. Hey, man.
Fellas, what's happening? What's going on? Dude, I am so upset we traded Joe Mixon. All right?
Oh, yeah? That would be Joe Milton.
Yeah, you got to get the name right if you're going to call in. I'm sorry.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, not on the Patriots.
Running back.
Yes.
And he plays now for Houston, and he was very good for Houston last year. Is he still in Houston? Joe.
I think he's still in Houston.
Okay. All right, good. He was good. Did we just burn Skaz's hot take for that? No, not your fault, Josh.
No, not Josh's fault.
No, Josh, it's never your fault. Trust me.
Never say never, but yeah.
Oh, the deal's really suspect now. So let me just get this straight. Joe Milton has been floated out for a 3rd-round pick all off season long. The only reason that you would trade Joe Milton is because you'd get a 3rd-round pick.
And we were told, Joe, a lot of interest.
A lot of interest.
A lot of interest.
Now, only one offer.
That's contradictory, isn't it?
Yeah, again, Skaz, they didn't want Joe Milton here next week. They didn't want him here.
If you had a lot of interest, but only one offer,
So they just took the best offer?
The only offer, Joe.
The only offer.
That seems like maybe not so much interest around the league.
All right. So, okay. All right. My only thing is why now? Why today? Skaz, why Bill Parcells this week? Why? It's all suspect. Jerry Jones. Oh, that's a good one. They traded Joe Milton to Dallas. The owner there is Jerry Jones, who's in the Hall of Fame. Was that the same guy where Kraft goes, that guy's in? When's the last time he won? So he is squashed. Oh, and where did Parcells coach after the Jets?
It's going to be Dallas.
Yes. Huh. And I believe that if I kept going here, there's more Dallas connections. But, so, Robert Kraft has closed the door on the Mayo era, spent money, actually, hired Mike Vrabel, has let Bill Parcells back in the Hall of Fame, and traded Joe Milton to Dallas, where Jerry Jones, Hall of Famer, the owner, who Kraft said, when's the last time that guy won? So is this like we're going to do the deal for a 5th-rounder and give you a 7th, and I hope that this settles all family ties? The deal had nothing to do with football, is my point. Like, I could sit here, we could do this all night, guys. It has nothing to do with the football field. Don't give me Drake May. Don't give me this is what he wanted to do.
It all comes back to Jerry.
Jerry and Kraft. Kraft is settling family business. He brought in the Godfather to make the moves and do the hits. But this is him. This is Robert Kraft settling family business. So Parcells done. Jerry's done. We got to look out now. Who's next? When's the Malcolm Butler thing coming out? What else? What else does... I'm serious. Well, here till midnight. I'm ready.
Eric Mangini coming back anytime soon?
What other cracks now or relationships does Robert Kraft need to settle? 617-779-0985. I'm serious. What's next? For real. I'm trying to think now. Roger Goodell?
Yeah, put him in the Hall of Fame, too. Why not?
No. You need Roger Goodell to talk to the owners to get Kraft into the Hall of Fame, right? So what they? Oh yeah, they got honorary Roger Goodell night, bobblehead night. Yeah,
he can be a keeper of the light for one night. Why not?
Yeah.
Get him up there.
There you go. I need more names. We got to hit the headline. We're keeping this one going. I like this one. I've been sitting on this one all day. This thing marinated in you ever
air fried, Joe.
You ever marinate chicken?
Oh yeah.
I used to use Italian dressing back in the day. Put a bunch of steak tips in there, put it in a nice big Ziploc bag, put it in the fridge. Let it sit in there for a little bit and marinate. Ooh, now I'm ready to cook, baby. I might even put an apron on for this one. Oh, this is... Again, I think Mike Vrabel has made football moves. This one was not. This was not a football move. All right, we're here till midnight. Skaz, bringing heat. At 10:30 Spice here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Oh, Bruins lose. right, back here 98.5, the Sports Hub. Joe Milton traded today. People are talking about it. So when it happened, right? Joe Milton traded. I go, for a fifth, huh? That's all they could get for him. And I moved on with my life. I didn't think about it again. I didn't care. And then I started thinking about it again. And I said, dude, this makes no sense. They got a fifth round. They had to give up a seventh round to get a fifth round? Like, what? This isn't a football move. All day long, I'm like, this isn't a football move. And then I started thinking about it, and I go, ooh, it's the Godfather again, whacking people. And then I'm like, this all goes back to winning last year's game. But could it really mean trying to mend... What's the word? Mend fences? What do they say? Mend fences? Is this the Robert Kraft redemption tour? The Robert Kraft redemption tour. Belichick's got to be on that list, right? If we're just throwing out names, guys, Belichick? Could he? I mean, David Andrews was at UNC camp today talking to the guys.
Talking about taking guys' jobs. That's what it takes.
And what happened to him?
Got his job taken. You think Belichick shows up for Parcells? I mean, that would be the first, right?
I hope so.
First olive branch, he shows up for the Parcells induction.
This is what I mean. At some point, Robert Kraft has to think about a photo. You know how, like, if you look back at that 96 Super Bowl, Belichick is in a photo with because he was the defensive backs coach.
That's the one Bill Parcells checked out of, right? The 90s. Okay.
That Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, just making sure. That's the one where he quit on the team.
He coached the game. They lost. Didn't play Troy Brown.
Did he coach the game, though, really?
I mean, he sat Troy Brown.
Yeah. That's the one, though, right?
Yeah,
the one he quit.
Where Brett Favre threw touchdowns over the top.
Gotcha. They got killed in the kicking game.
And then he didn't go home with the team on the bus.
Yeah, that's what a good head coach does. That's what a Hall of Famer does. Quits on his team and doesn't ride on the same bus.
And then goes to the number one rival.
Yes. When I think of that resume, I think Hall of Fame, Joe. How could you not?
Well, he is in the actual Hall of Fame.
Of course. Yes. Deservedly so.
So you're making sense now. Now Kraft is trying to get into the Hall of Fame, right? So do you think there's some people that are like, we're not like Kraft in? He doesn't have Parcells in. It was a Hall of Famer. Oh,
Bill Parcells, being a good coach outside of being the Patriots head coach, deserved in the Hall of Fame. Not deserved to be in the Patriots Hall of Fame.
I think part of Parcells' legacy is what he drafting Drew Bledsoe and going to a Super Bowl.
Taking a guy 1 overall is really impressive. It is, Joe. It is. I give him a ton of credit. How could you, it's not like he drafted Mahomes at 10.
Okay.
For the Parcells stuff. 32-32, quit on the team in the Super Bowl. Build him a statue.
I don't want to do this to you because you know how we give Milliken crap about Scott Rowland making the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, him and Craig Biggio suck.
He never watched them ever.
Craig Biggio, not a Hall of Famer.
3,000 hits.
Yeah, congrats, dude.
Yeah, but how many?
2,999 of them were singles.
Yeah, but how many guys are in the Hall of Fame that don't have 3,000 hits besides Barry Bonds?
It's probably some.
You know what? Does Josh know? This is what I mean. I was there. Parcells was really good. Although he went 32-32, he was very good. He also did quit on his team.
Joe, you know who doesn't have 3,000 hits? Babe Ruth.
Oh, yeah.
Ted Williams. Lou Gehrig. Joe DiMaggio.
Wait, Ted Williams didn't have 3,000 hits?
No.
How many did he have?
26.
But Skaz, if he didn't go to...
Went to the war, Joe. I'll give him a pass for that one.
How many did Babe Ruth have? I'm just kind of curious.
Babe Ruth had 2,873. Batted 342, though.
Well, I guess so then do you respect the 3,000 hit number more now?
I don't care about 3,000 hits, Joe. How good were you? Craig Biggio was not, and he was never the best. He was never a top 5, 10 player in the league.
I would agree with that. great debates. That's what I like about the. I don't love getting home almost at 1 a.m. I'll be honest about that. Poor me. All right, I work on the radio and I get home at 1 a.m.
I did not go to bed last night, Joe.
No, but this is what I like because the Bruins are over. We're done with the Bruins.
You don't want to do more Swayman talk?
No, I mean I'd love to do Montgomery winning 11 straight and all that, but I'll save that for when we get Butchie versus Montgomery in the Western
in the
Conference
playoffs.
Finals.
Yeah. What happens first, Joe? The Bruins win a game or Monty loses one?
I mean, the Blues blow games with 25 seconds left all the time, but win in overtime.
Yeah, they've done it twice this week.
So, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore.
You think the Bruins are beating Carolina on Saturday? I'm ready for the Taylor Hall hat trick in that one.
Oh,
yes. It's revenge week, Joe. I'm ready for that.
Well, speaking of revenge week, Kraft, Parcells, Kraft, Jones. What's left for Kraft? And I remember just to pay off the photo talk. At some point, right? Robert Kraft should be in a photo someday. I hope he makes it. Him, Belichick, Seymour, Vinatieri, Brady, Gronk, Ty Law. Like at some point, right? Aren't those the Hall of Famers during the Patriots run? Am I missing one? I mean, I won't put Moss in there because he wasn't here long enough. But for the most part, like, the Patriots dynasty should be celebrated. And maybe across the league, because of all the winning that the Patriots had, Kraft burned some bridges. Because winning is the ultimate deodorant, right? Now when you want to get in, when you deserve, Robert Kraft deserves to get in.
Absolutely deserves to be a Hall of Famer. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more than Bill Parcells deserves to be in the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Well, there we go.
I won't argue with that. I just want to mention that Bill Parcells is a Hall of Fame coach.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't need the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Certainly does not. The Patriots seems like they feel like they might need him right now.
Thank you, Skaz. So you know what? You're right, Skaz. You're right. You're right. Someone mentioned Will Fork in the Hall of Fame.
I would lean no. Tough position.
He's in the Hall of Fame of big boys, though. He might be the biggest of the biggest boys.
Ted Washington.
Damn, he was good.
He was a big boy.
I called him Mount Washington. He would get in a stance, right? He was so huge that he could just hold guys like that. So, he would just like his hands, and then they couldn't move him. So he would hold two guys while like Teddy Bruschi and guys would just like move around him. He'd clog the hole. All right, well, the phone lines are absolutely loaded. I went late, which is a Joe problem. And the hour of the Sports Hub has been brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit knowingoiloilchange.com to save 50% off your next drive-through oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. It's Joe Milton thing. It's not a football move, everybody. All right, I see JP, I see Pete, I see Mike, I see Topher. I see you all on hold. We'll go to a break, get a quick headline, and then right to you until midnight here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
It's Bregman, Tristan Casas, Christian Campbell. Opening day tomorrow versus St. Louis. Walker Bueller. Ben Stein. Is he still with us? I'm going to say no. Headlines, they are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. Make this season your season with the solution to weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray, and I'm on time.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
I think that Mike Vrabel is the godfather. I feel as though Robert Kraft is, Vito Corleone. When Michael took over. And then, of course, we know with the, the NIT final here is really something, by the way. It's 74-7. If you bet on this thing, it'd be wild right now. NIT, that's degenerate, by the way. All right, whatever. I've left you guys on hold for too long. Let's get to you. 617-779-0985. What do you think about Robert Kraft, Joe Milton? Because this was not a football move today, so don't give me that. Had nothing to do with football. Let's start it off with JP. He's in North Providence. Of course, my phone screener froze. Hello, JP.
Joe, this is like Michael Corleone in Godfather 3 taking down Immobiliari. You know, settling all debts, settling all problems. When does he hand it over to Jonathan? That's a story for another night. The sooner the better. Joe, I got a little insight on this. I was listening this morning to Fred losing his mind. Sarah from Everett was in studio. Nobody had ever seen her. It was like a ghost mystery guest. She's in there. Apparently, he could see her through the glass of the studio, so he has Nick move her to the conference room instead of losing his mind. He puts her in the one chair that you can see from the studio. Fred goes off on Nick. Half of the callers are backing Nick. Half of the callers are backing Fred. Hardy and Wallach are backing Nick. Oh, it was realistic, Joe. It was something going back and forth.
So without really digging into this was a Nick problem.
Well, who said Nick, after 10 years, you know better. If that's what he's going to do, you should have expected it. And who said, why are you getting so upset? And it was tough going back and forth. Let's just say it was good radio, but tough listening. What can I say?
So let me guess. I know nothing. Something tells me that they were bringing in a guest. They wanted the YouTube chat to see it and react without their reaction.
Right.
Fred therefore yelled, or I shouldn't say yell. Fred probably.
Oh, no, yells is good.
How about raised his voice at Nick for making an error? And then Nick pouted the rest of the day, and everybody felt bad for Nick.
Pretty much like that, except Nick was a trooper. He went on and did his job, jumped right into it, screened calls, did a job, took it like a man, and just kept going.
He wasn't upset.
I think he gets used to getting chastised. That's what it sounded like.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm recapping it.
I'm sure there'll be more tomorrow.
Oh, it'll be on tomorrow morning. That you talked about it tonight at 11, Joe.
Well, I don't know what happened. We work late now, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, headlines tomorrow. Joe Murray show uninformed. I could see it.
Well, yeah, because we sleep. Fred takes days off to sleep. Don't get on me about sleeping.
That's what Fred sounded like at work, Joe.
Oh, okay. So I get it now. So that I bet you tomorrow they're going to apologize to Nick. What do you think?
Nope.
Okay. What do you got for me tonight? Anything else besides the drama?
I'm trying hard for Saturday night, Joe. I got to sneak you in between work and dinner at Rockefeller's in Salem Saturday night.
Rockefeller's great spot. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like the fanciest of spots, but it's right in the heart of downtown and a good place to drink.
Oh, I gotta find a place to go out dancing. So I don't think we'll be there. We may go back to Magia, little disco,
Dancing,
some fun going on Saturday night.
There's not much. I don't see much dancing on the North Shore. I'll be honest with you about that one.
Shador Sanders going to Dallas. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. They're going to make it happen.
Ooh.
There's your quarterback, whatever his name is. I'm tired. Sanders is going to Dallas. He's going to be the quarterback there somehow. They're going to get the 4th pick.
Okay.
Don't know how. Trade Dak for the 4th pick.
Are you going to
3rd pick?
Are you going to eat in Salem when you go there?
Oh yeah. I'll have a drink with you quick and then head down there.
Where do you think you're going to eat?
No, we're going to Rockefellers.
You're going to eat at Rockefellers.
Yep, that's where the reservations are, and never been there before. I'll give you a recap on Saturday, Sunday.
I don't know. Okay. There's a lot of good food around Rockefellers. So.
Bella Verona, the best. Chicken palm talk at midnight. I love it.
Thank you, JP.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, I've worked on that show enough to know that Nick screwed up. Fred yelled. Everybody defended Nick. When in reality, Nick did something wrong. But he shouldn't be yelled at. So I didn't hear it, so I'm not going to say anything. If I didn't hear it, guys, I know nothing. Pete's in Haverhill. Hey, Pete.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
How you doing? No, I'm doing good. Good. I know you're a Peabody guy.
Well, I live in Peabody, from Boston, but
yeah,
yes.
Land and sea.
I live right around the corner.
Dude, it's the best.
Really?
Sneaky good.
I'm not hating on them. I've had them many of a time. You know what's better is Ramsey's.
Yeah. No, it's good.
So that was it? Just a shout out to Land and Sea?
Well, that and
hey, tell me,
Joe Milton.
Tell me about the Benedetti's Deli in Haverhill, if you don't mind.
Oh, I got you. One of their nephews is my best friend.
Okay, well, you tell the Benedetti's nephew that I want to eat from them.
I mean, we can set it up if you want to do like a little.
I want a chicken parm with mozzarella on a braided roll jumbo.
So, if you're going to come down, you got to do the rocket, obviously.
The rocket?
Yeah, it's like a 3-foot long sub.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think myself, Skaz, and Josh could finish it ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, it might take. You can always save some for later.
Now, is it one sub of 3 feet, or could it be multiple subs in 3 feet? Like, could half of it be a steak and cheese, half of it be a chicken parm, and half of it be like a ham and cheese?
Oh, they could do. Yeah. No, so typically it's one sub, but yeah, if you wanted multiple subs in the rocket, they could do that.
But for the most part, it's just one big 3-foot sub.
Typically, but
so if
no,
they
would do that.
I want the chicken parm rocket. They would know.
Oh, 100%.
Okay. All right. Well,
but
you tell them that I'm interested. Can you do that?
I'll let them know.
I would.
I'll let them know.
I would really appreciate that.
I'll let them know.
All right. Cool. Thank you. 3-foot subs, huh? I'm in. You got something for me, Josh? Oh.
No, he's in on the sub.
Oh, he's in on the sub.
He wants a piece of the sub.
What kind of bread is it, though? Like, is it just a sub roll that's 3 foot long? Mike's in Uxbridge. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
How you doing?
I love me a conspiracy theory, and I just want to get my head around the old man sending Joe Milton to Dallas. It seems pretty insignificant, kind of like Whitey Bulger giving John Gotti a dice game in Upton. Like, Is that really going to get him into the Hall of Fame, a sixth rounder?
Did that ever happen?
What's that?
Wait, did you just compare mob bosses to draft picks?
Yes, I did.
So you're saying that Whitey Bulger sent a sixth-round pick to John Gotti to settle some ties?
Right. That's what your conspiracy theory is. The old man sending Joe Milton down to Dallas.
Without the mob tie. Yeah, but I guess I am tying in the mob, right? So, yeah, you're right.
You did.
Well, I'm glad you thought like I did.
So, but it seems like pretty insignificant, like a dice game in Upton, for Christ's sake, you know?
Yeah, they just were settling family business.
Okay.
But
okay.
now who's next now, though? Who is it? Belichick that does Kraft now have to, like this year when Bill Belichick automatically gets into the NFL Hall of Fame, is Bill Belichick automatically in the Patriots Hall of Fame when that happens?
I kind of think that goes without saying.
I think that's what's next.
Great talking to you. Thanks, Joe.
Settling all family business. Oh, Topher, how you doing?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Have you ever had the 3-foot sub from Benedetti's in Methuen?
No, but I might be in on it if it's like that long, good French bread. Yes.
I love that kind of long French bread.
Oh,
I just feel like though you need to have Italian on something like that.
Well, yeah, like you get the long one from Panadosi's, nice and fresh, early in the morning. Bring it home.
I've never had.
Then you make the cold. Huh?
I've never had Panadosi's.
It's right next to your favorite place in Malden.
Wow. Actually, I've had stuff from there, not food from there. Like I've had ingredients from there.
What? From Panadosi's?
Yeah, our buddy there works at the place next door there, so he sends me some samples.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets his bread from there.
Interesting. What do you think about Kraft and Milton?
I'm not gonna go the mob boss route, but I got to tell you, you ever play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is like 6 Degrees of Jerry Jones.
So Joe Milton always wanted to play for the Cowboys. The Cowboys need a backup quarterback because Cooper Rush is gone and Trey Lance stinks. And so they spent no money in free agency like how Robert Kraft spent no money for years in free agency. So now he's doing him a solid because he said bad words about him being in the Hall of Fame. So now that's kind of how it all leads back to Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll buy it. I love a conspiracy.
I mean, the way I'm also looking at it, too, though, is Dak Prescott is your regular season quarterback. He cannot finish in the postseason.
So you think Joe Milton would be the quarterback in the playoffs?
Oh, I'm not saying to the fact he'd be I would probably go if Prescott has another year or two where he's injured, like he has the past couple years. If Milton is supposed to be quote unquote the guy, and he's so popped up with everybody wanting him, if he goes into Dallas and actually plays as he should, and he looks good, could he be the next quarterback in Dallas? Sure. But he's got to hold his own, and he's got to be who he's going to be. Jerry Jones could, like everybody's been talking about, dump Prescott. It's a lot of money. But if you find somebody willing to take on that contract and everything, sure.
All right, Topher.
Always love talking to you, Joe.
All right, man. Glory hole.
Too weird.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. My phone screen is frozen. I'd hang up on you if I could. I don't want to hang up on you, but I would. If I could. Maybe I should. Maybe I just would. If I could. Speaking of that, we have a poem from a listener that we're going to share with you later on tonight. That's how we'll end the show tonight, with a nice poem. One more because you've been waiting on hold. His name is Patrick. Hello, Patrick.
Is that me, Pat from Gloucester?
Oh, you're Pat from Gloucester. What part of Gloucester are you from?
East Gloucester.
So what's east? Like, okay, so what's Long Beach then? Like near Rockport? What kind of Gloucester is that?
Oh, yeah, it's sort of near there. It's Rockport's like its own animal, like on the outside.
Are you like near like that 7-Eleven and all that over there?
Yeah, like probably a half a mile away from there.
Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant in Gloucester?
Totally the Causeway, man.
Great.
Like, absolutely.
I honestly do think they have the best clam chowder, but that's just my...
I mean, it's a total dump, but the food's unbelievable. I mean, have you ever been there? You been there?
Yeah, I've been there a billion times.
Yeah, it's like you just sitting at like a cafe, a table, they have tables from like a high school.
Yeah, but go to Essex, right? And then everybody will tell you Woodman's is the greatest place, and really you're just eating outside on a wood table.
Right. No, it's really good Italian food. I actually know people that work there.
Yeah, I know the young kid there.
It's really good.
If you told me his name, I'd remember it, but I've forgotten it all of a sudden.
Was it Gino?
Is it? I don't know. You've been to Minglewood?
Oh, yeah. You know what's a new restaurant up here that's like, it's probably like a couple years old, but Oak to Ember?
Oh, yeah, okay.
You've been there?
It's right on the boardwalk, next to the hotel.
Yeah, it's kind of pricey, but it's really, really
I'm a
good.
Tacos La Pita guy.
Tacos La Pita, yeah. What about Machaca? You been there? That's right across the street from Oak to Ember.
Real quick, because I know Skaz is rolling his eyes back there. But what's that convenience store with the lobster rolls?
I don't know.
No. Okay, so let's say you pass the Market Basket and all that on the 128, and you get to the Rotary there, and you bang a left right there. It's before the liquor store and all that. Bob's?
There used to be a liquor store there. That place is gone.
No!
That place changes like every single year.
They had a hell of a lobster roll there.
I think I know. It's changed hands like so many times.
Sad.
Anyway, I want to talk about Kraft and Parcells. Like this is such a joke. Like he does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I was so mad. I was in college, like a sophomore in college when they were in the Super Bowl, and he didn't take the plane home, and then he was on the Jets like the next day. Like, really? Like, why would Kraft do that? Like, I don't know. He's reaching. He is. He's trying to like pull in everything he can to get in the Hall of Fame before he goes away. Would you put him in there?
Yes.
You would?
I would have put...
He was 32 and 32, I heard you say.
Correct.
Yeah, that's good. He made it to the Super Bowl.
How old are you?
But 51.
Okay, so you lived it.
Yeah, I've been, the whole thing.
No, what I'm saying, though, is wasn't the Bledsoe era some of the best football you've seen?
It made it interesting for sure. I mean, he definitely like put a spark to it, but just the way he left, it was so dirty. Like,
okay, thank you, appreciate your call, Skaz. He's making your point that the Patriots have been so successful past Robert Kraft that they don't really have to honor him.
Parcells.
What did I say?
You said Kraft.
Parcells. Yeah. They don't really need to. I would honor him.
Why?
Because I am a simp. I am a Patriots simp.
Because you like nostalgia, Joe? Is that what it is? It's your childhood?
That's Skaz. That's exactly what it is. But I also thought he was a great coach. He was. But if I have respect for my franchise, again, I used to be a season ticket holder and no longer, so I'm no longer a fan of the team. I am no longer a fan of the Patriots. But long haul, the Patriots are too good to look back at Parcells. And I think that's been the mantra. And I think this is why Kraft's doing what he's doing. Settling all family ties so he gets into the Hall of Fame. It's pretty easy to figure out. All right, we got to go to break. Jeremy just texted me, Joe versus the clock again. We'll go to break. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
right, back here on 98.5 The Sports. I wonder if these 2-hour shows are starting to get to Skaz because he's coming up with these takes all after 11 o'clock. I figured you should get this one out, Skaz, before we go to the calls. I'm going to get out of the way on this one.
Well, Joe, I'm not old enough to remember the Bill Parcells time as fondly as apparently most of you all remember going 32-32 and having your head coach quit on you in the Super Bowl. Luckily for me, I grew up in an era where the Patriots actually won Super Bowls and won games, and the head coach didn't quit on them. So I have a different perspective on the Bill Parcells thing, Joe. So out of curiosity and maybe some vindictiveness, because that's how we operate on the night show, Joe, just out of curiosity, I said, who was the head coach the last time the Patriots went to a Super Bowl before Bill Parcells? That'd be one Raymond Berry. Joe?
Raymond Berry. Hall of Famer Raymond Berry?
NFL Hall of Famer Raymond Berry, Joe. Raymond Berry not in the Patriots Hall of Fame, though. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Could you tell me his career record with the Patriots?
His career record with the Patriots, Joe, I'm glad you asked. Raymond Berry went 4-4 when he took over for the Patriots in '84. Then went 11-5. Came in third in the AFC East, lost to the Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You know what Raymond Berry did the year after the Patriots went to the Super Bowl?
Didn't quit on them, did he?
He returned as head coach of the Patriots.
How'd they do?
Went 11-5 again.
Wow.
And lost to the Broncos in the AFC divisional game.
I remember that.
Then went 8-7, 9-7. Then went 5-11. Got in a fight with the owner at the time about roster construction.
Oh, sounds familiar.
And was let go, Joe. His overall record as Patriots head coach, 48-39, which I would say, just going out on a limb, is better than 32-32.
Yeah.
And he also didn't quit on the team after a Super Bowl.
Did they have a number one pick in there? Was Tony Eason in there?
And he's also a member of the NFL Hall of Fame.
Is Jim Plunkett in there?
I'm just curious why I don't get Raymond Berry revisionist history. People act like the Patriots were the worst franchise to ever exist, and then Bill Parcells showed up. You had a guy that had 4 winning seasons in a row and took you to a Super Bowl before Bill Parcells got here, and I never hear his name mentioned. Just thought that was kind of interesting, Joe.
Well, I like it, Skaz. I've looked it up. Raymond Berry, still alive.
Still alive.
I mentioned Ben Stein earlier. Bueller, still alive. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Not putting any of these on you, Joe.
Uh-oh. So what you're trying to tell me, Skaz, is that
Bill Parcells was wildly overrated, and you just have rose-colored glasses on him because he was the guy before the guy, I guess. For some reason, that does something for people. When Raymond Berry was statistically, and I would say factually, a better head coach of the New England Patriots than Bill Parcells was. Didn't quit on him.
I feel like we need a
4 winning seasons as head coach.
I need, where's Bob the stat man? Bob Hilberg. Bob Hilberg, where are you? You send us your book. You ever seen the Total Patriots book? We got one back there. Have you seen it? He's the author. I need him to deliberate this one. Because if we're just going by facts and stats, you're not wrong.
Just saying. I'm just saying, Joe. I don't
get this thing. Everyone's got something sponsored, Our opening take sponsored. But can we just get like a just saying sponsored? How do we go about that? I mean, I could yell to the people down the hall, but they're gone when we get here. So like, what do we do?
Everyone's gone when we get here this week, Joe. There's nobody here by the time we show up. Jeremy Conley.
No, for real. Just saying can be like a thing. You know how there's like a tool bag of the day? We can't get a just saying? Like there's money to be made here. Anyways, we got a poem we need to read. We'll do that shortly. Am I late again?
Got one more break.
Okay. People are bringing up Felger again, saying that you should have silenced him earlier today. I didn't hear it, actually.
I didn't hear it either. Is he singing the praises of the great Bill Parcells?
I don't know. I will just say this. I feel that Bill Parcells should be in the Patriots Hall of Fame, but it's a made-up Hall of Fame. It's like I love the WWE. The WWE. So did you know that Owen Hart's wife doesn't want Owen to be in the WWE Hall of Fame because it's not a real thing? There's no, like, Hall of Fame.
Like, the building doesn't exist. There's nowhere you can go that's the WWE Hall. That feels like a missed opportunity for a company that loves marketing more than anything in the world.
Now, they do WWE World where every year they have, like, plaques.
Maybe thinking like Tampa or where all these guys
Stamford,
live.
Connecticut, where it started.
Yeah, they'd have some building or shrine or something.
But his wife is like, no, he's not going in the Hall of Fame. And listen, many people pitch for him. Like, Owen Hart should be in the Hall of Fame. He died on the job on a malfunction. Stupid malfunction. Took someone's life, and the show went on. Like, all right, I won't get real morbid before. But,
yeah, didn't you make a rule like last night or two nights ago? Anything after 11, there was.
Dude, this is what happens, right? You start getting fiery, and I get morbid.
I just like poking the bear, seeing what's out there.
But like the news was on, and I couldn't do it. No news before bed.
No news, strictly facts on the Joe Show.
Facts.
Fact, Raymond Berry, better head coach of the Patriots than Bill Parcells. Fact.
There is an independent wrestling Hall of Fame. It's in Lowell. I've been told about this. Actually, this weekend someone told me about it. But Brokerage Babe just wants to. She gave you a summary, I heard, from her.
I got the remnants of a book report, I would say. If they call in with that at some point when we have a full show again.
All right. Well, if she's the brokerage babe, can she broker some deals for us, maybe? Brokerage of what?
I'm open to anything, Joe. Sponsorships are available, as they say.
Skaz is just saying, brought to you by blank. We're going to break, and we'll have a poem for you as well before we go home. Yeah, we'll send everybody off with a nice poem. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe.
I appreciate Joe's vulnerability, and, well, that's what we're here for. We're here for Skaz's vulnerability. All our disorders that we have, we're just this is just this is the place. This is the place. All right, let me set something. Are we already going home? Wait, we don't. Oh my God! All right, can you just give me a second here? Can you put that down for a second? Josh, our intern, Josh, read us a poem. We'll go home tonight. This poem was from a listener in our YouTube chat today. Intern Josh, take it away.
Waiting for Joe Murray's radio show. The clock ticks slow. Excitement starts to grow. Stats, highlights, and stories we love. Each moment a treasure. Insights from above. Snacks at the ready. Heart steady and bright. When he hits the airwaves, it feels so right. In the world of sports, he's truly a brother. Can't wait for the show like no other. There we go.
Good night, everybody. No, we're not going.
No, Joe. This one's on me.
Oh no!
I'm so used to the Joe Murray clock that usually at 11:54, 11:55, I'm having to squeeze in that last break before we leave, but we just did it. So yes, we have 5 more minutes, Joe.
Yeah, do it again. All right, Lenny. Okay. Woo, this is like. This is Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Let's change the ending, man. Let's do it. Oh, this is great.
Yes.
I'm not used to having to go right until 59, right. Joe.
All right. Well, we have 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 4:20. Get it? Hey, Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Joe?
How was spring break?
Spring break was fun.
It was good. You went to
down at the Big East, yeah.
Big East. You go to Dean?
Yes. Yes, I
You're doing a draft show?
Yeah, we are officially going to be doing a draft show, Dean College draft show, live from Patriot Place at the Dean College stage. Wow. So that'll be pretty cool. I'll be hosting it.
Maybe I'll see you
a couple
there.
Others. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you will.
All right. People want us to play farts. No.
We're going to read the poem. And then
Skaz, could you give... I sent you some music. Me a poem on the radio before.
The man who wrote the poem, Gart Williams.
For the poem.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it.
He's got the broadcaster's voice.
He's got it.
He's got it. Can't teach that.
You know what's funny is everybody in the chat, which I do appreciate everybody in our chat. Thank you, because you guys are like real ones, you know? We did chicken nuggets last week. Did you hear about this? We did a chicken nugget championship. Myself and Street Team Joe.
Yeah, you can't forget the referee, Joe.
With our meat eater, Jake.
Oh, okay.
Skaz was the PA.
I don't know. I was the MC, the host. Yeah. I don't know.
But guess who the chicken nugget champion is?
Are we talking fast food, or are we just talking? Okay.
Who do you think won?
Me personally, I'm a McNuggets type of guy.
Yeah.
I do like the McNuggets.
We were blindfolded.
Oh, okay.
We had to guess what it was.
Okay.
Who do you think won? Between me and Street Team Joe.
I would have to guess you.
I am the chicken nugget contest champion.
Wow.
Just like the poem says, snacks at the ready.
Did you guys make like a trophy or something for it?
We're working on that.
You should. I think that would be something cool.
I just want a sponsor. maybe we'll get a trophy sponsor.
Trophy sponsor.
Like Lubin's.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Lubin's. All right. Well, that's it for us tonight, Josh. Thank you for reading that.
Thank you for having me on.
We're going to cut that and save it. And, well, we'll be back here tomorrow night. And then Monday we'll be at the